This is Boomer Life on AM 650.
Welcome back to Boomer Life, AM 650, with your host Simone Grewal, talking to you, the sandwich generation, the demographic that is sandwiched between two generations, typically now have grown adult children and are also the primary caregiver for your parents. We are talking with Ernest Kwanzaa, who is the president of 5 Star Senior Services, and we're talking about seniors and loneliness. Now, Ernest, remind us about the 2 presentations you have coming up.
We have a presentation coming up in West Vancouver next week. Is going to be held at West Vancouver Seniors Activity Center. The address is 695 21st Street, West Vancouver. Date March 25th, time 6:30 to 7:30. And also I want to remind our listeners that we have one more show left next month, which is April 15th. And on that show, we're going to list all the rest of our presentations. And we want to thank everybody for listening. Then we're going to take a break, about 3 months break, and then we're going to start the show all over again. So if you have friends that can benefit from the show, make sure next month, April 15th, is the last show. Then we go on a break. So hopefully we can see you all then.
And because you've got a lot of things going on. You've got the presentation going on, and you're coming out with a book. Tell us about that.
Come out with a book called Seniors Emotional Care, and that book was actually generated based on my own experience. Because once I started working at these homes, and I've actually opened about 3 of the top facilities in BC, and based on the rating of the homes, I presume that everything will be perfect. But you know what? The problem seniors are faced with is in every single home. And a few months ago, I was talking to a marketing executive in one of these companies that have a number of facilities from Vancouver all the way to Toronto, and she said to me, Ernest, the only problem they have is loneliness.
That's
all
the
they
main
have.
problem.
The food is good. The facility that I visited today, I was just waiting for the manager and officer. This guy comes out, Mario. Guess who Mario is? Mario used to be executive chef for Green College UBC, and in those days, he was my boss.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yes. So Mario is from Switzerland. He's worked in top hotels. He's been to Thailand and competed in cooking competitions. This guy is high caliber chef. Now he is in a retirement home. So what I'm saying is that don't worry about the food. Some of the people cooking the food are the best of the best. If you go, there's another facility in Langley. The guy is from Pan Pacific Hotel. There's another one in a facility in North Vancouver. The chef is from Hotel Vancouver. So there's some high caliber chefs in there. Everything is good. The only thing family have to worry about is the loneliness. Do your part.
The loneliness part of it. Now, before we cut to break, we were talking about how much your parent anticipates your visit, how much it means to them, even the meal sharing, if you're able to go and have dinner with a loved one. What are some of the best critical times that one should visit their parents in the care
Number
facility?
1, if you're not taking them home during Christmas, you need to go in and celebrate Christmas with them. I mean, Chinese don't celebrate Christmas, but even some of them will have Christmas dinners. So Christmas is huge, and that is the time that seniors are at the most loneliness. So you want to go there. You also want to go in during special special days such as birthdays, anniversaries.
Those are the days you feel it the most.
Those are the days that they feel it the most. So
especially talking about the holidays and seeing some of the other people in the facility having family members and visitors coming
exactly.
in. If you can't be there for your parent, maybe there's somebody you can send in your place, but it's just that they can't, it's tough to be alone on that day.
It's tough to be alone. Send somebody, let them have, I know that if families don't come, facilities usually will make a birthday cake, and then the residents will sing happy birthday to the person. It's nice, but there's nothing, a personal touch as a family member or an outsider who come in and join in, right? So they have more. So those are the dates.
Now tell us a little bit about, off-air we chatted about Lydia. Tell us a little bit about Lydia's story.
So what I wanted to share with people today is that sometimes people think, well, she's fine or he's fine. Well, they live in a facility, they don't need anything. Let me give you an example. When I first started this business, my second year, we acquired a client in extended care, and she would go to rooms and start throwing things out. And so I said to my staff, just go with her and find out. We couldn't stop it. And then she would grab her stomach. So my staff calls me. She said, well, she's grabbing her stomach. And I said, maybe she has a stomach pain. So we had a meeting with the nurse and the social worker. They said, no. We think, she needs to go to mental institution. I said, excuse me? Why is she going to mental institution? So I refused, and I said, no. We insist that you bring a doctor in here. The doctor came, give her painkillers. It didn't work very well. And I said, no, there has to be another vessel. Let's go to a hospital. Well, guess where we took the lady? We took her to Burnaby General. While we were there, we discovered that she had a stomach cancer. And the tumor was growing bigger and bigger, and she was in so much pain, and nobody really understood her. Now, according to the doctor himself, he explained to us that her behavior is in response to her trying to get attention.
And she wasn't able to express it.
She wasn't able to express it. So, sometimes people think, well, I don't need a caregiver. I'm paying, $4,000 or $5,000, so it's okay. Well, it's not always okay. Caregivers do more than just go and visit your parents for you. That's a benefit. And so in this instance, the daughter sent me an email and said, Ernest, if it wasn't for you and your staff, Mom wouldn't have lived this long. So the cancer was caught on time, right? So I remember that experience over and over that, I'm not saying that everybody should just get caregivers for their loved ones in care. But what I'm saying is that think about it to see if it will benefit the loved one and if it will give you peace of mind, especially if you live in Langley and your loved one lives and you place them in Vancouver or Burnaby. Or if you want to pay a visit but you're too busy. Under those circumstances, I think, yes, it's a good idea to get somebody, a care company, to do it for you.
If you're just joining us on Boomer Life AM 650, in studio with us we have the president of 5-Star Senior Services, Ernest Kwanzaa. 5starseniorservices.com is the website, and we are talking about seniors and loneliness, which is a huge problem. There was a statistic. How many people are dealing with loneliness, seniors in this province?
It is the number one. So currently, as of 2006, there were 250,000 seniors in BC, either in a retirement home or being cared for by a family member. Okay, 250,000 is a huge number. And if you talk to gerontologists, if you talk to BC Nurses Association, if you talk to researchers, they will tell you exactly the same thing. Actually, in 2010, a research company from back east did a research, and they discovered that it was loneliness. And that report was announced on CKNW. That's how I heard it. Right? It was announced here that the number one problem is loneliness, and this is not something that affects just a few people. It's basically, if you can help alleviate that loneliness, then you're good. And this is not just about seniors in care; it's also seniors who are living, by themselves at home.
Now, when it comes to finding or assigning a caregiver to go into the home, how do you do that? How do you find the right fit?
So the right fit is quite often families who call a care company and say, well, my mom or my dad just had a stroke or this and that, so can you, we need help. Well, quite often families will rush the companies. And when you rush the companies, sometimes it's forced to put somebody there. That's always not a good idea. If you know that there's something coming up, you're going to need to care for your loved ones, get yourself prepared. For instance, somebody called me a couple of weeks ago and said, well, my mom is going to go into surgery, and we are sure that she's going to need care when she's released. So the family's getting ready to get somebody ready, so when the mom comes home, the caregiver will be there. So you want to you want to be part of the selection. And what I mean by that is that, for instance, me, I would take 3 or 4 caregivers to the family home. We meet the mother or the father and the family. So while we are there, I will pull the family members away, and then we just talk in the corner, our own thing, and we're beginning to observe how the mother or father is relating to the caregivers. Like, who are they focused on the most? I just recently did this in Deep Cove, and it was just amazing. Instinctively, she would start talking, and then if after that meeting, the staff goes home, and we meet with the parents, and she said, well, I don't really like any of them, then we have to do another 3 set. You don't just put somebody there for the sake of caring for your mother, because the wrong person can aggravate your parent's situation.
And that can happen. There are times when somebody has been put with the wrong caregiver.
It's not a matter of that can happen. It happens. Currently in Burnaby, one of the community centers gave me a call and said, you know what, we have a lady with dementia, and she just went berserk because of the caregiver that she had. So they have to put the caregiver away. So it happens. So you let the loved one, the mom or dad, be part of the selection, and ask them, so all these girls, which one do you like the most? And she said, oh, I like this one. Why do you like this one? Oh, because of this, because of that. So now you're actually doing something that they approve of for them.
And it's a collaborative effort on everyone's part, so they don't feel like they're just being pushed into this decision.
Or you're giving them a caregiver that,
isn't the right fit.
he or she doesn't care for.
No.
And so to me, that's my number one. So if you are listening and you're considering care for your loved ones at home, make sure that the loved one is part of the process. Look at a few of them and let the loved one decide which ones that they get along with. And just stand back and observe them and see how they interact with each other.
Now, quickly give us a reminder of the upcoming presentation you have for if anyone's interested in learning more about seniors and loneliness and the care facility.
So if you have any questions, we are doing a presentation March 15th. If you go to my website, 5starseniorservices.com, it's posted there. Bring your questions, and whatever that your concern is, we're going to be talking about seniors, loneliness, solutions, dementia, you bring it. So it's going to be a fun night. So hopefully we see you all there.
Thank you so much. It's Ernest Kwanzaa joining us in studio, president of 5 Star Senior Services. And thank you for listening to Boomer Life on AM 650. I've been your host, Simone Graywall. Have a good evening.